The silence in this apartment block has its own weight. In winter, when the snow muffles the sounds of the city, loneliness becomes almost tangible. Stanisław had learned to live with it. Every day looked the same. His world had shrunk to 4 walls and memories slowly gathering dust. He waited. He was always waiting. For a phone that never rang. For a visit that was constantly postponed. The only light in his life was Helena, the neighbor from across the hall. She didn't have to do it. They weren't family. But she came every day, bringing soup and what he needed most, the presence of another human being. She took care of his medicine, his shopping, and of making sure he didn't feel like some forgotten object. Until one day, the silence was cut by the growl of an expensive engine. Weronika hadn't come to visit. She hadn't come out of concern. She came for what she saw as her property. She demanded the apartment be sold. Now. Immediately. "Sign it!" she screamed. "You won't need it anyway, and I need the cash." Helena saw everything through the slightly open door. She saw the daughter's greed and the father's helplessness. When she didn't get what she wanted, Weronika left, slamming the door. She left him shaking with emotion. The old man's heart couldn't bear that weight. It was Helena who called the ambulance. She was the one who rode with him in the back. In the hospital corridor, she was the only one there. The daughter didn't pick up the phone. The doctor had no good news. It was the end. For 3 days and 3 nights, Helena kept vigil at his bedside. She read to him, talked to him, held his hand. She called Weronika dozens of times. No answer. The last thing Stanisław saw was the face of the only person who truly loved him. He passed away in peace, knowing he wasn't alone. At the funeral, Weronika stood off to the side, checking her watch. For her, it was just a formality before claiming her inheritance. A week later, they met at the notary's office. Weronika was sure of herself. She was already planning how to spend the money from the sale of the apartment. But Stanisław, that quiet old man, had left one last word behind. "Let's get to the point," she urged the notary. The notary read slowly and clearly. "All of my possessions, including my apartment and savings, I leave to my dear neighbor, Helena." Silence fell over the room. Helena couldn't believe her own ears. For the years of care, for every bowl of soup, for being there when my own blood abandoned me. Weronika flew into a rage. She screamed about fraud, threatened to go to court. But the will of the deceased couldn't be challenged. She was asked to leave the office. She walked out with nothing, exactly what she had earned. It wasn't just a set of keys to an apartment. It was the key to justice. Helena went back to the flat, not as a guest, but as the owner. But for her, the most important thing was that she could take care of her friend's memory. Because in life, what matters is not who you share blood with, but who you share your life with. Kindness always comes back.